Hey, what's up guys, it's Axel, and today we're checking out the FiiO K13 R2R. It's a DAC amp, a fully differential 24-bit R2R DAC and balanced amplifier, basically an all-in-one unit. It's priced around $319. We'll go through the build, design, and sound, but first, let's mention quickly what comes in the box. Inside the box of the K13 R2R, you get a power cable, a USB-C to Type-A cable, a remote control, a 1/4-inch adapter, the manual, and of course the DAC amp itself. So the unboxing experience is pretty straightforward and it has everything you need to get started. Now onto the design. The K13 R2R comes in two color choices, black or silver. This one is the black version, and obviously the first thing that stands out is this transparent window in the middle, right? And I love this design choice. You can actually see FiiO's 4-channel, fully differential 24-bit R2R array. You can see two groups on the right and two groups on the left. It looks amazing. Honestly, I wish more DACs showed their internals like this. There's also a subtle light inside that you can customize brightness, colors, and all of that. On the front, you get two knobs and a small digital display in the middle. On the left, this is your menu and input selector. It has this tactile feedback with every step that I really like. On the right, there is also the power and the volume knob as well. Both knobs have this like this textured grippy finish. Both of them feel premium. There's no wobble or anything like that. You also get two headphone outputs. You get your balance 4.4 on the left and 6.35mm single-ended on the right. No channel imbalance as well when you're using the volume, as it's a digital volume control. You don't get anything on the left side, but on the right side you do get an extra USB-C input right here, which is great, for cable management, or just for organizing your setup if your source is on that side. And on the back, let's look at the back. Things get more interesting right here. So right here on the right side, you get two power inputs. One right here is for the internal switching power supply, and then you get here this 12 volt 2.5 amp DC input if you want to use an external power supply, like for example a linear power supply. For example, there's even a switch to toggle between AC and DC, internal and external. Now you also get Bluetooth antenna, and then you get your optical input, your coaxial, your USB-C right here, and then you get, of course, your outputs on the left side. You get single-ended and balanced lineouts, 2.6 VRMS for the single-ended and 5.3 VRMS for the balanced. So basically you can use this as a fully differential R2R DAC feeding another amp or powered speaker, or you can use this as an all-in-one unit. This is the bottom of the unit. You do get these vents right here, and actually this device, using it on high gain for a long time, it never even got warm. So what I want to say here, guys, is that the build of this device is really solid. Like, it's an all metal chassis. Even the edges are rounded. Like right here, if you look, these edges are rounded. You don't get like sharp corners or anything like that. So it feels nice, and it has this refined overall look. And of course, yeah, there is a remote control as well, which is nice to use, especially if the unit is a bit away from your desk. Personally, I like using the knob. Let's power it on from the back. All right. Yeah. So yeah, this is how it looks like. Of course, you can see there is some light here. You can change the colors in the FiiO app. And then this right here, you just increase the volume, lower the volume. So this is really nice. It has this silent tactile feedback, and I really like that. So when I increase it one step, I can lower it one step, and it's always precise. It doesn't skip around or anything like that, which is really cool. You can increase and decrease your volume. And then if you want to see the menu options right here, let's have a look. So if you just rotate this, it will go right here and, change the inputs. So you have USB, you have optical, you have coaxial, and you have Bluetooth. And then if you press and hold, you get here your options. So this is your output, and you can choose between power output, pre-output, or line out. So I leave it on power output, and then you can move on to the gain. You have low, mid, and high. I leave it on medium. And then you get your oversampling and non-oversampling modes. And then you get your DSD, DSD to PCM. And then you get your EQ. There are a lot of profiles here you can choose from. And there are 10 user profiles that you can save and use. So, user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's cool. There is also balance. There is UAC1 and UAC 2.0, you know, and this is the LCD brightness. You get this one. This is like timeout for the display itself. And then you get your RGB brightness. 0 turns off completely, and you can choose up to 5 levels. I like level 5. And yeah, RGB2 is for these lights right here. So you can choose again from 5 levels of intensity or turn them off if you want. Sleep, and of course your update. All right, now one of the coolest things about the FiiO K13 R2R is the built-in 10-band parametric EQ, and you can use it directly from the FiiO Control app on your smartphone, or you can connect this to your PC, for example, and use the FiiO web interface. No installation required. You can save up to 10 user EQ profiles. You know, you can switch between the web interface itself. You can switch between lighter and dark mode. You can even use auto EQ presets, you know, for a lot of headphones and IM. And most importantly, it works with every digital input and analog output. So whether you're using USB, coaxial, or optical, the EQ still applies. So thumbs up for the implementation right here. All right, so let's talk about the sound now. How does the K13 R2R sound? So first, I use the K13 R2R purely as a DAC. I connected this to my amplifier, you know, and then I started to notice the natural vocals. But I will say, personally, I preferred using it with the built-in amplifier. Best way to describe the sound of the FiiO K13 R2R is that, you know, it sounds analog, natural, and realistic. Those 3 words, especially when it comes to vocals and instruments. And the highs are smooth, not artificial. You do definitely notice like the transients are a bit softer. You don't get that razor sharp precision you often hear from the Delta Sigma DACs. Instead, it's more relaxed and organic. The sound has this analog, fluid, easygoing character that felt really natural and pleasant. And the sound leans slightly warm, but it's not a warm sounding, you know, DAC. And that's what I like about this, is that it sounds natural in the mid-range. It has this realistic character too, especially in the mid-range, the vocals and the instruments and the timbre, but it doesn't change the tonality of my IMs or headphones. And you can change that tonality if you want with the built-in EQ. Overall, the K13 has that smooth, organic character, that natural tonality in the mid-range, and the sound just feels alive and fluid. I like that, you know, that's the magic of this, you know, R2R DAC amp for me, and the way the mid-range sounds, which is just very natural. Compared to typical Delta Sigma DACs, I'll say the K13 R2R tends to sound more analog, more natural in tone, especially in the mid-range, a bit smoother and softer in the treble, softer in the transients, more fluid. In my opinion, if you want to use an amplifier like for headphones or something like that, I would personally use the built-in amplifier here. It's awesome, okay? It's got serious power. I tried it with several IMs, and all were easily handled on low gain, okay? I even tried headphones, and let me just give you an example. Sennheiser HD6XX, which is a 300 ohm headphone. I was running it balanced on medium gain with headroom to spare, tons of authority and dynamics. High gain was not needed at all. So this thing here is no joke. So that's the thing. That's why I love this, using this K13 R2R as an all-in-one unit, is the DAC is good and the amp is good as well. I want to mention something about the detail as well. The detail levels of the K13 R2R are good. It's not hyper detailed like some, you know, Delta Sigma DACs, but the level of detail here is satisfying. It's not about dissecting every note. It's about the flow and musicality. Things sound smooth. Noise-wise, I ran tests with the balance output with IMs, and I could hear noise above level 80 on medium gain with the balance 4.4. That level is something I would never even get close to with IMs. I was just testing, honestly, on a file just to see the noise floor. To give you perspective, when I'm using the K13 R2R, with IMs, I'm listening at medium gain balance. I'm listening at 30 to 35. I did compare this to other Delta Sigma DACs. You know, I compared it to the SMSL Raw MDA1 and even FiiO, a DAC amp. For me, the difference is clear. Delta Sigma DACs tend to sound a bit sharper, a bit more defined. Like every note felt like carved with this surgical precision. Bass attack is more defined. Things feel, you know, just very distinct. The character is distinct. The separation is really strong. But with the K13 R2R, I would say on the other hand, it sounded smoother. It sounded more fluid. Like things were, like the overall sound has this chill character to it. That's the best way I could describe it. Like things were a bit chill. Notes feel a bit softer, more mellow, more relaxed. And going back to the Delta Sigma DACs, you instantly notice that razor sharp precision again, especially like with bass attacks, note edges, and the transients. Those things are more defined on Delta Sigma DACs. But at the same time, going to the FiiO K13 R2R, you definitely notice just how natural, realistic the vocals and instruments sound. It's a bit also smoother and a bit softer in the highs. Just the note edges are a bit rounded. It's an easy recommendation if you like R2R DACs. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.